Sports Illustrated yesterday, Ring of Honor television will begin airing on March 2nd, and they will be airing episodes every single Thursday on Honor Club. The first ever tapings will take place at Universal Studios in Orlando on February 25th and 26th. Tony Khan has also stated that it will take place, that it will be available for the tickets will be available for the inaugural taping of the new Ring of Honor. And like I said earlier before, the episodes will be available on Honor Club, which is Ring of Honor's subscription service, as they do not have a television deal in place just yet. But I wanted to know your thoughts and your impressions on the fact that we're finally getting a Ring of Honor television product or television adjacent product.
Um, I think it's pretty cool, honestly. I'm happy that they're doing something with it because I feel like for the longest, like I was initially a little excited that Tony Khan did invest into buying Ring of Honor, and then I felt like he wasn't doing much with it.
Mm.
And I think we all kind of thought it was a little forgotten about. But I think in the last couple months, there's been a build of interest with Ring of Honor, especially with like all the events that's been happening.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, I could expect more of like an audience, or at least like people just wanting to join in and getting a ticket for it. I actually am interested in seeing how the tapings would go and if it would be any different from what we see on Wednesday nights and on Friday nights. I kind of don't know what to expect from it quite yet.
Mm.
Do you think it's going to be like booked a little bit differently than Rampage and Dynamite? Like, what do you expect?
So I don't expect too many. Well, definitely expect a difference in the presentation. I think we're going to go with a version of Ring of Honor that's not going to be as polished as a Dynamite or a Rampage. Um, it's interesting that they're doing this at Universal Studios, which is where they take dark sometimes, and also where traditionally the original TNA Impact was filmed. After they came from Nashville, they went to Universal Studios and they created the impact zone. So it's interesting to see this kind of continuation of studio television wrestling. Obviously, WCW used to be at
Hmm.
Disney, but same difference. As far as how things are going to be booked, I think that we're definitely going to get a focus on a lot of the Ring of Honor centric talent. I think that we're going to get a lot of Cesaro. I think we're going with Claudio Castagnoli. I think we're going to get a lot of Mark Briscoe. I think we're going to get a lot of Wheeler Yuta. And also, I believe that we're going to get a lot of the guys who are, I don't want to say secondary, but kind of like the people that are on the up and up and kind of like the proteges in AEW. So I expect to see a lot of, once again, Wheeler Yuta. I expect to see a lot of Daniel Garcia. I expect to see a lot of Sammy Guevara. I expect to see a lot of the guys who I feel like will be main eventers in AEW, but they kind of need a place to kind of polish and kind of hone their craft a little bit more before they, you know, main event a show or something along those lines. That's just like my impression on it. But I am very, very excited for this. And I think that once they kind of develop a rhythm, I think that they're probably going to land some form of television deal as well. You was about to say something because yeah, I didn't
I
know
was
if you
thinking
had.
about because you're listing men, so I was wondering, is Ring of Honor at all going to have like something going on with the women because there's
Yes.
like still complaints about how like, the women get booked,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
think they.
So
I,
you think they're
I
gonna? Mm,
my bad. I was gonna say Athena is
they're
the
good.
women's world champ over there, and I definitely expect to see a lot of her as well. And I think we were talking about Willow last week. I think that we're going to see a
Yeah.
lot of Willow in Ring of Honor. Um, that's where I think she was
Oh, that's
originally
a good way to
signed to.
set
Like,
her up.
huh?
No, that's a great way to like if they wanted to work with her now and not wait till next year to capitalize on her, that would be a good way to give her her
Mm,
own spotlight.
yeah, I think.
But go on, you were saying something.
Yeah, yeah, I was just gonna say I think we're gonna see a lot of Willow on Ring of Honor because I originally she was signed to Ring of Honor like I guess through AEW, but I think that considering that Athena is a face and no Athena is a heel and Willow is a face, I think that we're going to see Willow become the face of Ring of Honor eventually, especially like their women's division. But I definitely expect there to see a focus on the women. Do you think that there's going to be an improvement in how women are booked in Ring of Honor versus how they were booked in AEW? You know?
Definitely can't make any promises because it's been a shit show, and I think everyone could agree last night was probably one of the worst dynamites I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mm,
One of those was thanks to the way that they've been booking Soraya and Tony Stewart. God help them. I hope that there's an improvement, just because it's a bit of a shame because they have such a talented and diverse division. Um, and I'm happy and glad that Athena would be spearheading the women's division, but it's just like give the women more opportunities and put them in more serious, less, cringy segments if you're going to. Cause
mm,
like now you have like another fresh new slate and you could kind of just put them over there and just kind of wipe out whatever failed experiments you had with them on Wednesday or on Friday night. So if they are, same thing with the guys too that have been wasted. I hope that they kind of just start all over with Ring of Honor. I mean, they could obviously do callbacks if nothing, was broken then. But I feel
mhm.
like some people have been wasted and just like properly use your hour or two. I'm assuming it's gonna be 2 hours. An
Yeah.
hour would be short, right? Is it an
Yeah.
hour or two
I don't know. I
for
don't think that they said.
the tapings?
I don't know. I don't think that they specified if it's going to be an hour or two, or at least I skipped over that. I don't know if it's going to be an hour or two. Let me look that up. But keep
Well,
going.
either way, that's like still another block of time for you to try to like fix what you've been doing wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and give those people that have been sitting in the back that been signed to since the jump a bit of spotlight and
Mm-hmm.
just maybe like either revamp their characters, give them a new storyline. So I'm interested. I don't want to shit on it yet. I want to see how Tony Khan chooses to go about this. Because if Ring of Honor was that good back then, I want to see what they do now with the talent that they have.
Hmm. I 100% agree with that. It doesn't say it doesn't say per se like over here where it was going to be 1 hour or two, but regardless of if it's an hour or two, I think that you were spot on. And I think this is a great time to kind of feature that up and coming talent that hasn't received the spotlight that they haven't received thus far. However, we want to know what y'all think pertaining to Ring of Honor TV. What are your thoughts, impressions? Who are you looking the most forward to seeing? I don't know if that was grammatically correct, but anyway, y'all correct me if I'm not. But we are gonna move.